上海地铁难得的地铁上没人。
We all know how crowded the Shanghai metro can get, but this morning, on line 10, the train was completely empty. I couldn't believe it. Where did everyone go? Has Shanghai turned into a ghost town?
On Shanghai's Metro Line 10, an entire car is empty. The user filming the video said, "Where did everyone go?" In major cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Beijing, empty subway cars are becoming a common sight, highlighting a growing sense of desolation in what were once bustling hubs. Shenzhen's metro, once packed with commuters, now stands almost deserted. This was once China's thriving special economic zone. The user posting the video remarked, "Guangzhou's metro is empty too. It feels so strange. Come back and crowd the subway. It'll be lively again."
现在北京是咋的了?
What's going on with Beijing Metro? There are hardly any people during the morning rush hour. This is a peak time. Even during off-peak hours in the past, there were more people than this.
Why is there no one on the subway to Universal Studios? Is it off-season? There's really no one here. What's going on? It's a brand new station, sure, but Universal Studios Station always looks great, yet it's so empty. I couldn't have timed this perfectly, could I? It's just too quiet.
In the video, Beijing's metro reveals a dramatic shift, with the crowded trains of the past now replaced by emptiness. Even Universal Studios, once packed with visitors, now appears deserted. The subway heading to the park is entirely empty, with none of the previous bustle and excitement. This decline isn't just isolated to theme parks and entertainment venues. Across China's major cities, economic activities impacting everyday life are showing signs of stagnation.
广州现在也顶不住了啊。
Guangzhou is struggling too now. Delivery workers have no orders, and taxis are running empty. Hotels are packed every day, though. There are so many people looking for jobs, but they're all stuck in hotels, waiting. Office buildings in Tianhe, Huangpu, Yueshu are sitting vacant. White-collar workers in Zhejiang Newtown can't even afford pig's feet rice anymore. Meanwhile, Guangzhou has received hundreds of thousands of outbound travel applications this year. Guangzhou was once among China's most thriving commercial cities, leading the nation in GDP and ranking 6th in population. Often called the country's enduring commercial hub, it was said that in Guangzhou, people with modest education could succeed through hard work. Yet, in today's challenging economic climate, Guangzhou's prosperity has faded. The Chinese Communist Party has often prioritized political goals over economic ones. In 2020, it enforced strict COVID-19 lockdowns, halting cities with outbreaks, and severely impacting the already fragile real estate and financial sectors. As a result, unemployment rose sharply, particularly among freelancers, low-income workers, and private sector employees, whose incomes dropped significantly. Unlike other countries, China did not recover economically after the pandemic. Instead, the economy declined rapidly, with e-commerce, live-stream sales, and low-cost promotions intensifying competition. Physical stores and large shopping malls face inevitable struggles, with major urban malls hit hardest.
Look, it's all empty here, on the second, third, and fourth floors. The vacancy rate in Shanghai is sky high right now. Retail property vacancies have reached 8.2%, with rents dropping by 3%. The pressure on shopping malls is immense. Can they even cover their costs, like electricity, water, personnel, and rent?
生意现在有多不好做。
Business is tough. This was a thriving shopping mall just 2 or 3 years ago. Now on the entire 4th floor, there isn't a single store open. Everything's empty. This was once a boxing gym, but now it's shut. You can see from afar, no lights. This is a hot pot restaurant on the 5th floor, but it's completely empty. No one inside. Even a store selling accessories is deserted, with the owner just playing games out of boredom. The movie theater on the 5th floor is empty too. It's 7 or 8 p.m. on a holiday weekend, and not a single person is here. This convenience store on the 1st floor? Just the staff, no customers. The elevators on the 2nd and 3rd floors aren't even open. I heard the whole 2nd and 3rd floors are empty, so they locked them up.
现在是星期六的上午。
It's 11:24 a.m. on a Saturday, and my store still hasn't made a sale. It's not that we're not trying. We opened at 7 a.m., but no one has walked in. Not a single customer. Not even a cent in sales. Yesterday, on Friday, it was the same. Some of my colleagues said business is bad this August, probably because the weather hasn't cooled down yet. I'm already wearing a jacket, and the streets are full of people wearing jackets too. But even with the cold, there's still no business. Summer clothes aren't selling, and neither are autumn ones. Let me show you outside. No one's around. Where has everyone gone? There's no one here at all. Look at the foot traffic in these stores. You could throw money outside and no one would pick it up.
晚上7:26。
It's 7:26 p.m. and all the main roads in Zhenzhou are dark. Could it be that Zhenzhou is so poor it can't even keep the streetlights on?
今天周六，我以为是周一。
Today's Saturday, and I thought it was Monday. It's 2 p.m. now, and not a single person has entered my store. I've been here shooting videos. On Monday, I could understand. But on a Saturday, I'm honestly a little confused. The suppliers are even asking if I want to restock. To be honest, my customers aren't coming through, and I can't deliver either. This September, my sales are only a third of last year's. I'm not even going to bring it up anymore.
A video from Shenzhen shows job seekers from other regions sleeping on the streets, unable to afford lodging after failing to find work. Some haven't eaten for days. Outside Luohu Square, unemployed workers gathered with nowhere to go. At night, in Futian CBD underbridges, near subway stations, and in alleys behind office buildings, people sleep on cardboard, including unemployed programmers, construction workers, and delivery riders. By day, they search for jobs. By night, they sleep outdoors, with some surviving on instant noodles and tap water to save money. Shenzhen's rapid growth stemmed from decades of Taiwanese and foreign investment, building robust manufacturing, export, technology, and supply chains. Now, the city faces foreign capital withdrawal, Taiwanese business relocation, factory closures, shuttered malls, rising unemployment, and people sleeping on the streets. Streets are quieter, subways carry fewer passengers, CBD office buildings have higher vacancy rates, and even some Starbucks and McDonald's locations in Futian have closed. A video from Heilongjiang University's Autumn Job Fair shows 110,000 young people registered for 9,767 positions. The line stretched hundreds of meters to the subway station, with 1,000 people admitted every half hour. Some waited 3 hours to enter, including many graduates from Tsinghua and Peking University. At the fair, even entry-level jobs required a master's degree. A Beijing University of Technology dual-degree student couldn't even enter due to overcrowding, and found 70% of the jobs were in sales. Despite this, many consider this year the best for employment in the next decade. Graduates struggle to find even basic service jobs, let alone roles matching their majors. Many now question the value of a university degree. Official Chinese data reports the unemployment rate for 16 to 24-year-olds in urban areas, excluding students, rose from 17.8% in July to 18.9% in August, a 20-month high since the statistical method changed. Youth unemployment exceeded 20% from April to June 2023, peaking at 21.3% in June. The Chinese government then stopped publishing youth unemployment data. Rising youth unemployment signals a worsening job market. This year, China expects 12.2 million college graduates, up 430,000 from last year, intensifying job market pressure. The struggle for young graduates to find work is now one of China's major societal challenges. While Chinese cities face rising unemployment, business closures, and declining school enrollment, a more alarming issue is emerging: the growing number of empty villages across China. Empty villages are increasing rapidly across China, from southern Guangxi, Yunnan, and Guizhou to northern Hebei, Shanxi, and Liaoning. Nearly every province has abandoned villages. In Shenzhen, over 100 villages stand deserted with empty villas. In Jiangxi's mountain villages, furniture, TVs, and clothes remain neatly arranged, but no one is present. Large villages in Anhui and Henan, once home to thousands, now have only a few households. More concerning, the number of empty villages continues to grow, and even small towns are becoming increasingly deserted.
有房没人住，有路没人走。
There are houses with no one living in them, and roads with no one walking. This is Guangdong Jiangmen's largest empty village. It used to house over 500 people, but now it's completely deserted. There are more than 100 houses here. As I walk through the village, it's eerily silent, overgrown with weeds. I don't even know what happened here. Such a beautiful village. Why did the people leave? It's a real shame. Friends, take a look. Behind me are two-story villas, all by the water. Such a beautiful place, but it's empty.
你看，包括这个房子，你看。
You can see this house. No signs of anyone living here. The doors are locked. And looking through the glass, it's empty inside. It feels like this house has been around for a long time, but no one's living in it. This is definitely a standalone villa, but no one is here. The entire second floor is empty, and I don't understand. Why are these beautiful houses unoccupied? Over the past 30 years, China's rapid urbanization has drawn young people to cities, leaving rural areas depopulated. Government policies promoting land transfers and demolitions have turned many villages into hollow villages. Migrant workers in cities, despite their hard work, struggle to afford high living costs and cannot purchase expensive urban apartments. Often labeled as low-end populations, they face harassment and eviction by authorities. With a recent economic slowdown and rising unemployment, many have lost jobs and unpaid wages, left with nowhere to stay in cities and deserted rural homes. Meanwhile, China's birth rate continues to fall. The government has not released birth data for the first half of 2025, possibly due to its sensitivity. Experts estimate about 4 million births in this period, down 330,000 from 2024's 4.33 million, a decline of over 7%. However, a blogger, using public news reports, projects only 3.21 million births for 2025.
是国家卫健委公布的一个数据。
Today, I want to share a little tip for reading the news. You can't just look at one piece of news in isolation. You need to connect multiple stories, and you shouldn't just read them, but also do the math. Once you start calculating, you'll discover many interesting things you wouldn't see in the original news report. Today, I want to do some quick math with a report from the National Health Commission. By September 10th, 24 million people had qualified for childcare subsidies, covering 80% of the target group is children under 3 as of February 1st, 2025. If you divide 24 million by 80%, you get 30 million. That means since January 2nd, 2022, there have been about 30 million children born who are under 3 years old now. Now, subtract the 9.6 million babies born in 2022, and the 9 million in 2023, and the 9.5 million in 2024. That leaves us with an estimate of just 1.9 million births between February 1st and September 10th, 2025. Considering that more children are likely to be born in the last few months of the year, even adjusting for that, the numbers are still staggering. If we project 1.9 million for the rest of 2025, the total births for the year would be just 3.2 million. Last year, it was 9.5 million. This isn't a small drop of 10 to 20%. It's more like a halving, a steep decline.
Hospitals across China are closing departments, raising concerns about the marketization of public health care and persistently low birth rates. Despite a March directive from the National Health Commission to avoid arbitrary closures of obstetrics departments, local hospitals, under financial strain, continue to shut them down to cut losses. Since April 2025, counties like Danzai in Guangzhou, Chongzhou in Sichuan, Xinqian in Jiangxi have consolidated obstetrics and newborn care services into fewer hospitals, with some maternity facilities halting inpatient deliveries and eliminating delivery rooms. On April 10th, Xinyi City's traditional Chinese medicine hospital in Guangdong announced it would end inpatient delivery services from May 1st, retaining only outpatient prenatal checks, pregnancy care, and postnatal rehabilitation. Since early 2025, public hospitals in cities like Suzhou, Nanchong, Meishan, Guangzhou, Jiangshan, and Huizhou have closed obstetric services, including some top-tier hospitals. Since the pandemic, the Chinese government has overlooked the severe economic damage caused by its policies, instead continuing to suppress private enterprises, restrict the digital economy, control free speech, and promote whistleblowing and anti-espionage campaigns. This has driven large foreign companies to leave China, causing supply chain disruptions and widespread bankruptcies among related businesses. Supply chain disruptions have halted manufacturing operations, and fragile finances have put small and medium-sized enterprises at risk of bankruptcy. Stagnant manufacturing and consumer goods production have worsened the economic downturn. Many firms unable to resume operations have cut jobs on production. Meanwhile, despite public hardship, government-controlled nucleic acid testing companies have profited heavily, nearly depleting the National Healthcare Fund and further burdening citizens. To address the economic crisis triggered by lockdowns, the Chinese government has boosted fiscal spending and introduced large-scale stimulus plans, including infrastructure investment, relief funds, and preferential policies. However, this has led to a sharp rise in unpayable local government debt. Massive government debt, financial instability, sharp declines in stock and bond markets, significant foreign capital outflows, and the real estate debt crisis have eroded investor confidence. Despite various government policies, these measures are ineffective against broader historic trends. Since 2023, China's sharp economic decline has stemmed from the interplay of the Chinese government's extractive economic and political systems. This authoritarian regime cannot endure indefinitely and is destined to fail. Its very nature ensures its eventual collapse.